Francois van der Elst has hamstring trouble, but he tells me he could be fit for next Saturday's game. Jimmy Neighbour, who came in for the 1-1 draw at Stoke in the Milk Cup on Wednesday, plays his first full league game of the season. Liverpool, meanwhile, have no problems. Manager Bob Paisley is able to field an unchanged team, and the names are so familiar, and their form at the moment is so formidable. The referee is Alan Robinson of Portsmouth. And in the big crowd today, 3 lads from the Welsh Guards, injured badly in the Falklands, getting a great reception from the West Ham crowd. Special guest here today, and we hope they have a marvellous afternoon. And also in the crowd, 2 of West Ham's greatest stalwarts. And West Ham kick off, attacking the goal to our left, 2 sides bang in form. West Ham unbeaten in their last 6, and Liverpool, who've lost only once this season. Liverpool today in a changed strip of all yellow. Goddard thumped a little unfairly from behind by Alan Hansen, which gives West Ham a free kick. Although this is a pretty happy hunting ground for Liverpool, they've only lost 1 of the last 15 league matches that these 2 sides have played. Now Devonshire. A lot resting on him this afternoon, getting it back from Goddard. Pitch is a little bit soft after a lot of rain in the last 48 hours or so. Oh, and Devonshire doing well against Phil Neal. And the linesman flagging for a foul by Phil Neal on Devonshire, which gives West Ham another free kick. 2 free kicks in the first minute of the game. Devonshire with this one. Big men have come up from the bank, including Billy Bonds and Martin also. Oh, and Sandy Clark hitting it high over, when there was a real chance there for West Ham in the opening minute of the game. Floated in by Devonshire. Martin was trying so hard to get to it. Clark then hitting it high over the top. Bonds towards Sandy Clark. Oh, nodded on well there by Clark for Goddard. Now, could he get the better of Hansen? The support coming up from Devonshire, and how well they played that, the 2 of them. And a good cross coming in, well reached by Grobbelaar, but some lovely play by West Ham on the build-up. The ball now with Martin. That's got the crowd going. A good big crowd here. It really is a bit like old times at Upton Park, with a good atmosphere. As Allen, ball plays it short towards Martin, and Dalglish can pick it up. Marginal mistake point, Paul Allen, and West Ham aren't out of the wood yet as Lee finds Rush. Bonds with the challenge that mattered, but Lee now finding Souness. West Ham with 1 or 2 back as Alan Kennedy rifles the shot in against Billy Bonds. Rush almost got in there. Oh, and a good piece of play by Paul Allen. Oh, and then gives it away again for the 2nd time in a minute. Whelan. Lee. It's a real buzz about the game, and 1 or 2 passes also that are going astray. Phil Thompson winning it, Souness getting in before Pike. It's a real competitive battle in the middle of the field between Souness and Pike this afternoon. And Devonshire. Oh, he finds Lampard well. Flicked in towards Goddard. And Devonshire, whose form this season so far has been exceptional, has shown every sign of continuing with that today with 11 minutes of the game gone. Some lovely touches. Dalglish hoping to make something of that misjudgment by Billy Bonds, who wasn't at all happy with the treatment that he'd received from Dalglish. It's a throw. It's with Rush. Souness. Now Martin. Devonshire. And the touch by Allen, falls for Whelan. Souness. Neal. Whelan. There's Lee. Long-range shot. Hit well and saved superbly. Well, two sides in great scoring form. Liverpool with 22 in their last 8 games and West Ham with 15 in their last 5. And there we had a tremendous shot by Sammy Lee, superbly saved by Phil Parks. So Rush being watched by Lampard as Lee, whose scorching shot was saved there, takes this corner. And Devonshire keeping it away, but in fact just gives it back to Lee. There's a deeper cross this time. And headed just wide, and West Ham were in a little bit of trouble there as Dalglish came in on that far side. Alvin Martin. Oh, he's beaten there. That's Gilsey, rather, is put on for Rush, and is put wide after Dalglish had found Ian Rush. A slight misjudgment there by Alvin Martin that might have cost West Ham very dear. As Dalglish plays it on, Rush pushes it just wide as life is made difficult for him by the advancing Phil Parks. The long ball towards Goddard, but that'll go again. No, it's a free kick. A foul on Goddard by Lawrenson. Free kick to West Ham. Stewart will take it. Floated there towards Martin, who got the header in, but over the top. But Liverpool marking not quite what it should have been there. And Martin had a yard or two to get in what was a free header. So Grobbelaar will take the goal kick. He's an entertainment in himself, to be honest, over 90 minutes. He's forever on the move and forever encouraging, cajoling and shouting at his teammates. And he's got to get into action here. Oh, my word, and Goddard almost flicked it wide of Lawrenson and Grobbelaar, who were all over the place there. And in fact, it came off the Liverpool player for the corner. Mine, yours, no mine, and what the outcome is in the end is a corner. Well, Grobbelaar can see the funny side of it, but that was nearly a disaster for Liverpool as Devonshire takes the corner. Floated this time. Oh, Grobbelaar missed it and got it the second time, and again they're all over the place, and the ball eventually coming off Jimmy Neighbour for the goal kick. West Ham's throw. Whelan for Liverpool. Dalglish stumbling. Neighbour finding Martin. Allen turning it on for Clark. And giving West Ham the free kick from the crowd, who seem so educated in these matters, felt that there should have been an advantage played. Big crowds these days are looking for that more than anything else from referees, to give the game a chance of flowing. Souness, cut out by Billy Bonds. Finding Pike. Oh, a nice little touch there by Goddard for Stewart. And here's Neighbour coming in on that right touchline. Oh, and it could be there, Martin! Alvin Martin! It was a lovely piece of play. And it was a lovely touch by Goddard in the first place. Stewart, and then a ball played in beautifully by Neighbour. Grobbelaar could only just pour it out to Martin, number 5. And Alvin Martin, a Liverpool lad from Bootle, in fact, who says he's a Liverpool supporter, except on this of all days, has put West Ham into the lead against the team he supported as a lad. Well, there's a mighty collision there. In fact, Phil Parkes came out, and he's out of his goal. There's a chance here now for Liverpool, surely. No, the flag was up for an offside. There was only one man on the line, and that was Martin, and so the flag was up, and Parkes is in a lot of trouble. He came flying out of his goal. He knew he couldn't handle the ball, so he had to try and head it, and he clashed with Billy Bonds. How he didn't knock Billy Bonds out for good and all, I'll never know. But then the game goes on, and it's played out here for Rush, who is in an offside position with only Martin on the goal line. Well, Parkes is OK to go on, and so is Billy Bonds. And with 6 minutes to go to half-time, West Ham lead by a goal to nil. Good big crowd, thoroughly enjoying a fine game. Thompson. Now Rush. Might have the legs of Lampard. And I think the free kick's given there, and Lampard was dangerously close. His experience in the end just pulled his foot away because he was so close to bringing Rush down inside the box. But the unfair challenge, as you can see, came a yard or so outside the box. And right on half-time, West Ham have a little problem here as Sammy Lee lines up this free kick. Souness has come up on the far side. And Lawrenson too. The half-time whistle goes. 45 minutes played at tremendous pace with a lot of skill and a lot of thought. Highly competitive, and one goal. Alvin Martin, the scorer of that, and if indeed he gets the nod from Bobby Robson for the game against West Germany on Wednesday, they now attack the goal to our left. And they need to attack, being this one goal down to Alvin Martin. And straight away a free kick conceded by Sandy Clark of West Ham on Phil Thompson. Here's Martin, the scorer, keeping close watch on Kenny Dalglish. But it's Lawrenson in possession now for Liverpool. And that's knocked in there, and Martin getting it away. It was Neighbour who didn't mean to turn it in, and in fact lost the ball again there. But here's Pike getting a little knock from Rush as he went by him. And it'll be West Ham's possession. Lawrenson. Kennedy away. Martin's header. Sammy Lee. Phil Neal. And there's Pike with a little ducked-in header there, trying to get Sandy Clark on his way. It's Whelan. And now it's Martin. And here's Stewart. Goddard. And Goddard again, shrugging off Lawrenson, but it's not as easy as that. But he gets it in for all that. Pike! And the second goal for West Ham. Well, Jeff Pike, look at the doggedness here, though, of Paul Goddard. Just whipping it in before it crossed the line. And Pike was there to hit it first time past Grobbelaar. And so Jeff Pike gets his first goal of the season, puts West Ham 2-0 into the lead, and repeats a goal he scored here last season when West Ham drew 1-1 with Liverpool. Pike was the scorer then for West Ham, and he's given them a little bit of breathing space now. But some great work by Paul Goddard. Really tenacious there when it looked as though Lawrenson had really shut him out. Lampard, a nice cushion header there for Allen. Devonshire, good play by West Ham as Clark finds Devonshire, and then Devonshire doesn't really make the most of it, but a good challenge by Allen gets it back for the home side, just as a good challenge by Lawrenson gets it back for Liverpool. An unfair challenge that time by Pike on Souness means a free kick for Liverpool. Hansen. Kennedy. Dalglish. Turning well, and a good save. Lee ducking in with a header, and the the first time this afternoon that we've seen the famous Kenny Dalglish turn, and he turned away from Alvin Martin and rifled in a shot that needed a bit of saving. So West Ham might be warming up substitute Neil Orr. I think it's going to be Billy Bonds who's going to come off. I thought a moment or two ago he looked as though he was struggling, and he's got, if we can just go down a little bit, we'll see his left sock is right down. I think he's had a little bit of trouble there, and yes indeed, Billy Bonds is coming off, and Neil Orr will be coming on. The Achilles probably playing up a little bit again for Billy Bonds, but it gives this big Scottish defender his chance. Liverpool's throw. Dalglish. Again, Martin closing right on him, but he's let Souness through, and off the legs of Phil Parkes. And Martin not quite sure where it was, but suddenly Souness had scythed right through them. And Parkes was a little lucky to have it coming off his legs. Clark in danger again of being caught offside, and you shouldn't blame Pike for that. I think he had to keep hold of that one. He was aware that Clark had gone into an offside position. It's with Kennedy. Now Thompson played back again for Graham Souness. And there was no stopping that. And Liverpool are back in it with a goal by Graham Souness with 14 minutes left. Well, Souness had a chance earlier on that was easier than this perhaps, but he really fired it in from way outside the box. Parkes got a hand to it, could only push it into the roof of the net. And so West Ham 2, Liverpool 1, and with 14 minutes remaining, it would be a brave man who'd say which way this one was going now. Well, there's presumably work to be done in the West Ham camp as well. Yes, John Lyall, the manager, has abandoned the director's box. He's down on the bench there with Mick McGibbon, the former West Ham defender. Behind him, Trevor Brooking, you see, behind John Lyall. And here's the West Ham free kick. Cut out. Lee to take it up for Liverpool. Only as far as Paul Allen. Martin trying to get in there. And what have they got out of this? A corner. So Devonshire with a corner. And Grovelar's good catch. Whacking it forward. There are 2 Liverpool players up for the 3 West Ham men back. And they have looked so dangerous, Liverpool, that you fancy West Ham might have a struggle on their hands. Here's Rush. Oh, and it's Whelan, and it's a save. Hit more firmly, you feel for sure that must have been the equaliser. And it was a mistake in the first place by Neil Orr, who allowed Liverpool to get possession there. Played very intelligently there to Whelan, and Parkes saved well. Nodded on there by Goddard for Neighbour, and Goddard outside him, and Clark coming in fast as well, and Clark has scored! 3-1. The value of good wing play is seen here again as Jimmy Neighbour takes them on, plays it wide for Goddard. What a good overlap that was, and what a good cross in. And Clark falls but scores. So 10 minutes left. West Ham 3-1 up. West Ham, who scored 9 in their last 2 home games, 5 against Birmingham, 4 against Manchester City, and now 3 against Liverpool today. Or, crowd enjoying that, but we're disappointed with that. Stewart in there, and now Souness battling away, and a free kick given. Souness not happy with that. And the time has come for action from the substitutes bench for Liverpool. Craig Johnston about to come on. And it's Alan Kennedy who will go off. A thump in the back by Souness on Clark, but they're both okay. Liverpool are attacking once more. Lampard holds them at bay. Craig Johnston trying to come in there against Paul Allen. Dalglish also looking to make something of this. And Phil Neal right in there from the back. Pike just half getting it away. Souness once more, a fraction wide. And it must have touched the West Ham defender on the way. Just wide, here's the corner. Rush. Dalglish flicking it on, Rush trying to get in there, but the bounce was nicely judged by Parks. I mean, his great quality today has been his speed off the line so many times. Goddard. Neighbour, Devonshire. Neighbour. Oh, what a good ball there. Look at Stewart right up there. And the little cross, in fact, you may have detected it. It was a really nasty bobble there, just as he wanted to cross the ball in. With Lee, and a really exhilarating game in the last seconds now as Thompson comes forward. Dalglish, Devonshire tries to get in there, but Sammy Lee takes it up again for Liverpool. Great action from first to last as Phil Neal crosses that one in, and Paul Allen thumps it away, and the final whistle goes, and a fine victory indeed for West Ham. Paul Goddard with the ball, how appropriate that is. Although he didn't score, he made the second and third goals and gave a really first-class performance up front for West Ham United, whose scorers were Martin, Pike and Clark, with Souness replying for Liverpool. And all around West Ham, people are on their feet, applauding two sides off the field, because they've given 90 minutes of superb entertainment here at Upton Park today. Let's hope we get more of that this season. And a final scoreline at Upton Park. West Ham 3,